Hello and welcome to all you lovely Aquarians. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for July 2015. And what is happening in the sky? Well, there are three things I want to talk about. First of all, the traditional ruler of Aquarius. So the modern ruler is Uranus, but the traditional ruler is Saturn. And Saturn is making a square to Jupiter. So I'll be talking about that. Then you have the Venus retrograde and also going on to the fixed star of Regulus. And then last but not least, a lot of activity in your sixth house, the house of health, the house of work, the house of your pets as well. So let's get started with the Jupiter square Saturn. What does it mean? A square, that was a combination of Saturn and square. This is the last video that I'm doing. I ended up with Aquarius, and it's not fair, is it, that I'm doing Aquarius for last? But it's with the same devotion as all the other signs, I hope. Now, let's get back to you. Jupiter square Saturn, what is this all about? It's about tension. It's about two energies that need to be considered both at the same time. It's about juggling. It's about you can't do the one without the other. And Jupiter is optimism and Saturn is realism. So you need both in some area of your life now. So for all of us, a square is there to show us that we are a bit out of balance and that it is up to us to get it back into balance. And it also means a square that you cannot just focus on one planet and then neglect the other. You can't do that. So you can't just be only optimistic about something and forget the reality. Or you can't not be only real and forget your faith and your optimism. So this is the whole process of Jupiter square up to Saturn, which will be for the whole month. Now, in a nutshell, this means that we will all encounter a tremendous amount of growth, and I'll talk about that in a minute where, but we need to do that gradually. We need to do that step by step. That's basically in a nutshell what this aspect is all about. Now, what is it for you? Well, the growth potential is in your seventh house, in your relationship house. So there's Jupiter there, there's Venus there. This means this is good. And Jupiter, mea culpa, Aquarians. Jupiter and Venus are the two benefics. So optimistic planets there. So people that you are encountering now are good for you. They are, they have the heart on the right place, especially because it's in Leo. And they're there to show you a bit broader perspective. So, and not necessarily a love relationship. It can also mean a business partner. It could also mean a colleague. Someone who's really important for you. A one-to-one relationship. And that one-to-one relationship is growing. It is growing. Especially if you are single, there is a lot of potential here that you will meet someone. And maybe someone from the past. Maybe that you were already had a kind of relationship with, and now you are reevaluating it. It can also mean that you know, how you reevaluating it. It can mean that you say, no, this is not for me. Or you can say, yeah, this is it. But you are making a choice, because that's what Venus is all about. It's making choices there. So that's one thing. That is the growth area. And that clashes with Saturn. It clashes with Saturn in, again, your 10th house. So Saturn was already in your 11th house, but now it turns back into the 10th house and doing some finishing up. So you have been dealing a lot with limitations, with boundaries when it comes to 11th and 10th house. What is that? It can be friends, it can be work. So that it's going very slow and that you really need to work hard to, you know, to find enjoyment there. Or it could simply mean that you have a lot of responsibility to do, you have a lot of work, and it's on your shoulders, you know, the heaviness of the Saturn there. So there is this clash going on between your rules and restrictions on work and, on the other hand, that relationship. Now, what could it mean? For some of you, will tend to go more to Saturn, based on your natal chart. And for others of you, you will tend to go more to Jupiter, because you're more Jupiterian kind of flavor in your temperament. So I'm going to start with the first group of you Aquarians. So the Aquarians who tend to go more to the Saturn way. You are ruled by Saturn. So I think most Aquarians are what I'm about to explain now. If you are that kind of Aquarian who's very realistic, who's very feet on the ground, who is who knows their limitations, who knows what they have, what they don't have, then this is a little bit of a warning that open up a little bit, open up to your relationships, open up your heart towards other people, because they have a place in your life as well, and there will be a pull. There will be a pull of other people trying for you to expand with them. So then this is the advice. Try to integrate a bit more the Jupiter. Try to integrate a bit more your growth. But of course, you have your limitations there. You have maybe a new relationship and it demands a lot of your time. Well, do it gradually. Do it step by step. But you can also be another type of Aquarian. Maybe you're a bit younger there. And you tend to go to the Jupiterian optimistic Aquarian, which every now and then puts the head in the sand. And you don't want to see the realness of what's in front of you. Then Saturn will knock on your door. Then Saturn will say, okay, you can have this, your relationship it's very beautiful and it's expansive and you're growing and all of that. But what about your work? You need to spend a bit more time at work. So you see, it's for everyone, it will be different. And for some of you, it will be a swinging between the one and the other. But that's what this aspect is all about. It's the swinging between the juggling of those two energies to have it it's a bit of time sharing there. If, relationships, yes, but don't throw yourself out there. Be realistic. And work, yes, but don't get too responsible with work. Don't get a burnout. So that's for the Aquarians. And Venus will dance around the fixed star called Regulus. So you will get more ambitious when it comes to your relationships anyway. You will get ambitious. You will feel that pull that you want to achieve more meaning in your relationships, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. What else? Last thing I want to talk about is a lot of energy in your sixth house. So there's also and mostly the male planets, Mars and the Sun. Mercury is more of a neutral kind of planet, is all in Cancer, and that is your sixth house. Now this is good because it means that where the male planets are is where our energy is. It's where our drive is. And your drive is with day-to-day routines, with work, or with health. Health, maybe it's a very good time now to start working out, or to start a new diet, or to learn more about health, because there's so much energy there. And in the beginning it might be a bit stressful or frightening. Why? Because there's Pluto square opposing it and Uranus squaring up to it. But once you get started, you won't be able to be stopped. So it's a good thing for you to get active, to improve your health, to improve your work as well, to get more organized, to get more economical. The sixth house is the house of the Virgo. And the house of Virgo, economy rules Virgo. And with economy, I mean, the basis of economy, I once studied economy it seems like a former life, but I did. And I remember one of the first rules of economy is that with little amount of resources and input, you get the maximum amount of output, the maximum amount of result, you could say. So it's not always by working hard that you get what you want. It's by working intelligently. It's by working efficiently. It's instead of 10 hours, maybe you can do it in 5 hours. These things, and you taking the initiative, to turn that around, to become a bit more efficient, to become a bit more, maybe it's your administration. Sixth house, I find often that people delve into their administration. Maybe it's a good time to do so. Maybe in the beginning you say, oh, I really don't want to, because you're scared that it's going to take you days, but do it anyway. You can find new ways now to improve that. So very interesting month for you Aquarians. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your support, for ordering readings, for sharing my videos and commenting and all of that. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated. And I wish you a very good month and see you next month. Bye-bye.